Hello and welcome to Back to Basics with Sandra and Lyndall. Today we have a very special guest, Chantel Rahme, who is the makeup expert and owner of CR Luxury Cosmetics. Chantel, welcome.
Hi, girls. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. So you guys actually know each other?
Yes. How long's it been? 10 years maybe?
Bit more. I think I did your wedding, 10 years ago? 11 years ago?
Yeah, I'll be celebrating 10 years next year.
10 years next year, there you go. And I knew you a couple of years before that.
Yeah, So Chantel, I will never forget when I first came to you. I had done a few trial makeup sessions with people for I remember I was telling you.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't forget that when I came to you, the first thing you did, and this was the point of difference, and the way you made me feel that I'll never forget, was that you didn't talk about makeup, you didn't talk about anything. You sat me down and you're like, how are you going? And that for me was like, yeah, she's my makeup artist. Because if she could bring that calm to me just for a trial, that would be what I want on my wedding day.
Exactly. Yeah.
You just felt like, how are you going? How are the wedding plans? What do you envision for the day? What's your perfect day look like? So that was really like what made me fall in love with you from day one. And then all my special occasions after that, my son's christenings. And
it's always been a pleasure.
It's always been you doing it. I always come back to you. So, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I think it's really important though on when you're meeting someone, it's not always about business and, getting her in and getting her makeup done and leave. It's very, very important. It's something I've done since day one, over 20 years of doing makeup. Just making people, how are you? Do you know what I mean? Not just show me what kind of makeup are you looking, what look are you going for, what are you wearing, how are you doing? So I think it's really important to connect to people on that level.
So 20 years in one industry, huge amount of time.
Yeah, fun.
What kind of sparked
and it gets more fun.
What kind of sparked your interest to get into beauty?
Probably as I was growing up. My mum's a hairdresser, been a hairdresser for almost 50 years, but she was also a makeup artist in the beginning, so hair and makeup artist. So I sort of grew up watching her create her magic, and I always sat there and going, when she used to paint faces, always used to inspire me. So that was definitely my...
Wow. Yeah. And wasn't it easy sort of introduction to get into beauty and makeup? Was it something that was easy to do at the time?
Not so much as easy. Obviously you had to have the skills. So I did start off as self-taught for the first couple of years before I went and actually did my official course. But definitely a lot easier than it is these days, with people trying to get in with the competition. So back then we sort of were a handful of skilled artists compared to now. So, yeah. I
think, these days there's so many people in the industry, hair as well, and everyone's kind of undercutting each other as well when it comes to pricing. So I can, assume that would make it really difficult. Do you feel like being a self-taught artist, back in those days was a little bit more difficult? Because I don't feel that we had, TikTok and Instagram and, all of those sorts of social platforms where we can watch others and learn.
I understand. Not so much more difficult. It was actually on a completely different level where I would, book my bride in or book my client who would come in, and I used to have, this is showing my age, but we used to have the portfolio book on the table where people used to come in. And we used to have so many years ago.
One of those.
Do you know what I mean? So the only thing we had around was, I think Facebook had just sort of started out, so it wasn't as blown up now with YouTube, with Instagram, with TikTok. But I think having social media is such a powerful form. Not only with learning, but what people need to understand is what that lady's doing behind the screen on TikTok or on YouTube not necessarily matches your eye shape, your face shape, your skin tone, etc. So that's probably the only, not necessarily bad side, but you need to not copy, you need to adapt things to your own.
Get inspired.
Yeah, get inspired.
Don't take the whole thing
exactly. And then, okay, but she said to do a liner that's touching the end of my eye. I'm like, well, your eyes are this small. So you need to sort of balance things out.
I think there's a lot of people, like when you read people's bios, a lot of people are saying that they're self-taught.
Yeah.
What does that actually mean, self-taught? So how do you
self-taught for me is naturally having that talent. And then being inspired and working on your technique and things like that. So the first 3 years, and I remember doing my very, very, very first bride, I had never gone to a makeup school. But I did, and I did it absolutely flawlessly because I had that natural, obviously, talent in me, that flair for it. Seen mum doing it over the years, so it was a natural thing for me. These days, self-taught, I think, is more social media, so watching a lot of YouTube tutorials, and so I think the difference That's the difference between back then to now.
And do you feel like people need to attend a makeup school and kind of get that certificate to be successful in the industry?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Education is wealth. So if you want to succeed to a certain level, you need to learn different eye shapes, different skin tones, different structures of the skin and of the face, different. And it's not always just about makeup. It's about what we do before we apply the makeup. So skincare is so vital. And then when working with skincare, you need to sort of learn then different types of skin types.
Exactly.
So is she oily? Is she dry? Is she etc. So then you know, with your knowledge and with your experience, what you need to apply onto her skin before you actually start the makeup. You know, and obviously different eye shapes and hygiene. Hygiene is extremely important when it comes to makeup, and this is not just post-COVID. This is always.
Yeah, you always had that.
So even when COVID came in and everything, it was like, oh, it's just sort of the hygiene levels that I already do. So it wasn't
definitely guilty of not cleaning my brushes.
No.
But you know what? It's so funny. Every time I clean my brushes, I'm like, wow, this is so amazing. And it feels so nice and it applies so nicely.
And then you see all the makeup
then I don't clean it for 3 months.
Oh my God. I'm actually quite guilty at seeing people's makeup boxes and go,
do you know what
brush? I think I said it the other day to someone. Wash that brush.
I look at people's, and I do it like through just when I'm scrolling socials, is I see if they've done like darker skin tones, because a lot of people just stay with the one kind of, and they get scared. And I will never forget, I asked someone to do my makeup, and they said, would you be able to bring your foundation with you?
No.
Yeah.
No,
and
you're
I was
joking.
like, I'm not coming. So, yeah.
But see, it's not about that speaks absolute volume.
Yeah.
Not just the fact that bring your own foundation, but how, for example, when I'm choosing foundations for my kit, I'm choosing things that I've tried, I've tested in every single scenario, from longevity for a bride. You know, I obviously do airbrushing.
Yeah.
So I need to then work on, you know, products that I apply on before airbrushing. So if you're just bringing yours and coming in and all I'm doing is applying it, I'm not really bringing my level of skill.
Yeah.
So I don't know what product you're going to bring in.
Yeah,
it could be 5 shades too dark. It could be 5 shades too light. But no, working with dark skin is I absolutely love it. I love working with all skins and with all different nationalities to begin with. But for me personally, I think dark skin is absolutely beautiful. So I do have a huge range.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference. Like when people kind of are self-taught these days and they're watching social media and, you know, TikTok and all of those platforms, and that's how they're learning, because they're learning from influencers that just do their own face.
Yes.
With what they know looks good on them and they know suits them.
Yeah.
And that's just not applicable to
every day.
And different kinds of clientele as well.
And the thing with social media, I'm watching, you know, influencers and makeup, which they're amazing and they're doing such a great job. So, you know, nothing by that, but they're doing things in a more dramatic way. So, you know, I'm applying this and then I'm putting my primer and then I'm popping this on my pores and then I'm, you know, popping 5 inches of foundation and then I'm doing the whole highlighting and contouring. Women don't need that day to day.
Sometimes it looks so intense as well.
And women think that is the norm with makeup, and that's what I explain. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I explain to a lot of people, that you don't need to have that much steps involved in a beautiful makeup application. It can, as long as it's applied correctly and you've got the right products, they're actually the most two important things, rather than, you don't need to highlight every day. You don't need to contour, you know what I mean, when you're vacuuming the house. And
well, I definitely feel that I'm guilty of being influenced by some of those people and watching them and going, oh my God, should I do that? Should I be putting, you know, dark contour like
around
over
the
my
edges,
face? And is that what I should be doing? Because I mean, she looks good, but I feel like it's a lot.
But that's exactly what you just said is right. You're putting that mindset into your head to go, so am I not doing mine right? So I think makeup, the advantage of makeup is there's no two, and that's one principle I do when I'm booking in my clients. I never ever do 2 makeups the same. So what you do, and if it works for you, go for it. If it works for you, go for it. As long as obviously your colorings are matching, like the basic things in makeup application. You know what I mean? So that's really the most important thing. There's no right and wrong.
There's that thing I think there's the thing you do where you match
What thing do I do?
You do something where you're matching, I don't know if it's foundation or lipstick, but you match it to like my chest or my...
So your foundation, So what I generally do is I like to match a foundation to the décolletage rather than to the face. So that way your face and neck all look like one skin color. So most people's face generally are a lot lighter than or darker, just depending.
That was another thing that stood out for me, because you put it on your hand and then you went to my chest rather than my face.
Whereas a lot of people actually put the foundation on and then you're just left with this little thing.
Try and blend it. So do you feel like what people are asking for when they come to you for a service has changed over the years based on
100%.
what they see on social
100%.
media and what they think is trending and fashionable?
Definitely,
How has it changed?
Oh, it's become a lot more acceptable to be dramatic or to have, a lot more, not so much harsher, but stronger looks. Stronger is probably, it's become a lot more, people are willing to try a lot more, which is great, which is fantastic. And I tell people this look is amazing. Like, I love the colors, I love the beautiful shine through her skin, etc. Let's adapt it to your skin.
Yeah.
Right? So if the picture has a super jet black, dark, smoky eye, and I feel that it might be too harsh, say, for your soft skin tone, we'll still give you that smoky look, for example, but something to adapt to your skin.
Yeah, beautiful.
So it's just about, it's not copy paste, it's about doing the same look but similar, making it to suit you. Yeah.
Talk about the airbrushing, because
I was just about to ask about that.
Stop it today. The airbrushing as well. That was all these things stood out for me. That's why I know you're the best. All right.
I love airbrushing. It's my little baby.
So that was a new thing as well, the airbrush. So let's talk.
It wasn't
about
new.
that.
It's actually one of the oldest methods, but not a lot of makeup artists actually do it.
You're the only one I know that does it.
Yeah, there's I think only maybe just a couple of us throughout Sydney that do it. Airbrushing is amazing. Airbrushing is literally amazing. It pretty much depends. It all goes by technique. So it's not just pick up a gun and spray and you're done your airbrush. So if you accidentally sort of apply too much pressure, so it's pretty much foundation or certain products that I apply through a compressor and then I actually spray it. So it's just like spraying a car.
Or spray tan?
Very similar.
Yeah.
Right? But with this one, I actually control the speed of the compression and things like that to achieve certain looks. And obviously what product I put in also. And what that does, it pretty much makes your skin look photoshopped in real life without actually editing your photos. So you literally look flawless. You could swim, you could dance, amazing for my brides, because you dance and the night away and your makeup literally does not move. So many brides book me back in the evening to come back for touch-ups, and I look and we're like,
there's not much to
there's
touch
literally
up.
not much to touch up. Maybe a bit of a lippy, of course, they got to eat, they got to drink. But yeah, so it's pretty much the Ferrari of foundation.
How did you learn to do it?
Wow. You're taking me way back. Taking me way back.
Because I just don't think it's something that you see
I was in the US,
day, so,
I was in the US once, and I sort of overheard something, and I'm one of those people that I love when I hear something, I sort of want to ask. I like to learn. So it's not so much me being a sticky beak, but I think learning things and learning things from different people is always wealth of education. So, and I was like, this is cool, I want to sort of try it. And then I attended one of the old makeup shows back in the early, and I invested in a machine because they're not cheap. I was like, okay, I've just invested in this. What am I going to do? So I started sort of upskilling and practicing and learning, and it probably took me a good year of trial and error and perfecting, the right compression on the machine before I started offering it as a service. And now, honestly, probably a good 70-75% of my clients come to me for the airbrushing factor, because it looks really lightweight.
And it's it's
literally flawless, soft, and it looks like
it.
you've got nothing on your face.
You can't feel it.
And it does not move.
Yeah.
Dance, sweat, do what you've got to do. A lot of very popular with photo shoots as well. So I don't have to stay for touch-ups. So it's great.
That's really good.
So talk us through, you've obviously got your own business as well. How did that come about? When did you feel like it was time for you to kind of step out on your own and have your own business?
Well, I'd worked for, major cosmetic companies for many years, almost 10 years. And I don't know, I think you just feel it.
Yeah.
It's just time when you feel like you're in the same, when you're going to work just for the money, not so much for the love. I think that's when you're like, hey, I want to take this on a different level. Rather than, working Monday to Friday and just having your weekend clients. It's like, this is something that you love, that you're good at, and you've got the respect in the industry for it. So it's just time to, and it's not easy. It's never easy to start your own business, especially going from, a set wage or salary and then going to, okay, hi there. You know what I mean? So it's not easy, but it's something I don't regret and something that I truly love.
Especially makeup, because not many people will be doing during the week, right? Unless you've got like celebrities and stuff that you're doing.
Well, I do a lot of film, TV
Yeah.
work, so they're in photo shoots. They're mainly done throughout the week and my makeup products. So, yeah, they keep me
So with starting your own business, was it something that you kind of got mentoring or coaching on how to start your own business, or you just kind of took the leap?
I literally just took the leap. That's 100% honest truth. So I just feel like I already had clientele based, you know what I mean? So I had already built, no, not from where I was working, but I just had my own sort of clients who were already coming to me, and I just sort of went from there.
Yeah.
And I still do most of the stuff myself.
Wow.
It's good, but it's tiring.
Yeah.
You just have somebody doing your admin or somebody doing this, and then you can just focus on the creative part.
Life what a dream.
Fabulous.
What a dream, right?
Life would be fabulous. Sit back
your-
and just have a cocktail.
Who was like your support network? Who helped you get there?
Honestly, I would say my family.
Mm-hmm.
They were amazing. I mean, as you know, I was many years back before, you know, trying to get into the law industry and into university and things like that, and then go, you know what, no, I'm going to leave law and I'm going to be a makeup artist.
I can't even imagine you being a lawyer.
Oh, I can imagine you like when you were blonde walking.
I think a lot of people would, I'd be a great negotiator. But anyway, that's a different side. But, you know what I mean, coming home and going, you know what, I don't want this side. Office is just not me whatsoever. It's just, it's very mentally limiting to how far you can expand yourself even as a person. I just feel it's quite robotic.
It is, yeah.
Do you know, that's for me personally, nothing against anyone, but being able to just create art and no two faces are ever the same. So every single client is a completely new.
It's like
as if I'm starting all over again, which I
yeah.
absolutely love. So I'd have to say my family, so coming home and going, hey, I'm leaving law, I'm going to do makeup. So most families would go, okay, she's lost the plot. I was like, nah, I love this. Absolutely 100%. No issue, no drama.
That's so good.
Yeah, and I mean, Mum already been in, and she was like, "Yeah, that's my girl. That's my girl."
Her over.
Yes, I think I started out doing her clients at the beginning, so it's great.
Oh,
And
wow.
she's your biggest fan. She's so cute.
She is my biggest fan. She'd be out, and she's always somehow gets my lippy out intentionally when she doesn't need a touch up. Yeah, she's very cute.
Even on what was it, Tuesday?
Yeah.
First straight away, she's like showing her lipstick.
For the Empower
around.
soiree that we did, she's very cute.
Yeah, so talking about the Empower soiree, so me and Sandra obviously attended your event on Tuesday.
Yes,
which
thank
was
you so much for coming.
Such an incredible experience. I've actually never been to anything like that before.
Really?
But
Wow.
it was to celebrate Women's Day and just, bring a host of women together. I know that you mentioned that's something that you do as regularly as you can. So talk us about that kind of facet.
Well, this
of
was
your
actually
life.
the first event that I was part of creating, myself and Grace from GD Events and Leanne from Mind Blue Media. But Leanne usually does them on an annual basis, and she's amazing at doing these events. This time we said, let's get together and let's create an environment for women to be completely themselves, relaxed, meet, network, and just empower each other. Everyone has their own story, and I just think every single woman in that room, I remember just sort of standing back for a second and going, everybody looked incredible. Everyone gave a vibe of just like happy to be there. And everyone was saying, I'm so glad I came. Thank you so much for putting us in a room where it's not competitive.
Yeah,
it's
I didn't
non-judgmental.
feel that at all,
Nobody was like, well, I'm fabulous. I've got this business.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was just for women to come down and go, hey, I'm a woman. You're a woman. Keep on doing a great job at what you're doing. So, and also give back to our amazing charities.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, it was a fabulous.
And how important is it for you, even through the work that you do as a makeup artist, to make women feel empowered?
Oh, it's what I do every day. I have women who come on my seat and say, make me beautiful. It's literally what almost every single client says to me. And at first I'd be like, oh, thanks, take it as a compliment. Then I actually sat down. I remember probably a few years into the industry, and I'm like, are you kidding me? In my head, I'm like, this lady is absolutely beautiful. So then what I started doing it when people used to say it, I'm saying, you're actually already beautiful. You know that, right? So just reminding them that I'm not making you beautiful. You are actually already beautiful. I'm actually enhancing and bringing out the features that you already have. I'm not changing your eyes. I might do a little bit of corrective makeup here and there because, we all need to cover a double chin.
Yes.
But in general, I'm only enhancing what you already have. And I think it's really important for women to not feel that if they're not wearing makeup, they are not beautiful. You know what I mean? But it's also wearing makeup. It's a beautiful part of presenting yourself at the same time, especially when these days when we're doing Zoom calls and Zoom meetings.
Yes.
And, you don't just rock up with your sweats on, and it's just nice to represent yourself.
Yeah.
No matter what industry
It's like
you're
your
in.
brand. Yeah.
Yeah. And do you feel like you
yourself.
see that a lot? Because I know it's probably only been for me, like maybe the last 5 years where I can quite comfortably be like, I don't need to wear makeup, like I look fine. Whereas before I wouldn't leave the house
always.
without a full face
Same.
on, you know?
Yeah, me personally, I mean, being a makeup artist, during the week I very rarely, and you would ask anybody that's in my life, there are days where most days I don't have anything on. But what I have done is obviously done my skincare routine.
Yes. That's
Okay, so I think skincare is
Sandra is new to the skincare
yeah.
routine.
and it's
You tell her.
You were
tell her.
sitting next to Rina Cynthia. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but Rina Timpano's skincare. You were literally sitting next to her at that event. She has one of the most incredible skincare that's actually changed my skin.
oh wow.
I think you were like a seat or two away from her. You were
okay.
that close to perfect skin.
Wow.
I got to hook you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've got it all.
Yeah,
worked out.
skincare's amazing.
Yeah.
It's
Skincare
so
is very
important.
So
Yeah.
most of the time I just leave, as long as I've got my skincare on and my skin looking fresh and clean, rather than trying to cover the imperfections, I try and fix it.
Yeah, absolutely. So is that kind of some direction that you would always give to your clients?
Always,
Yeah.
absolutely always. I've got my skincare people who are absolutely amazing. I've got a local girl who does my facials, Beyond Fabulous, microdermabrasion, and then I've got my another amazing clinic towards the city, Double Bay, who do amazing sort of skin transformation. So that's all Saints Clinic. Yeah, Dr. Joseph. I say most of my clients, if they really need sort of improving, and when I suggest it to my clients, it's coming from a point of that, this will help you. So I'm doing it almost like a care, not go fix your skin and come back, not at all. But if there's something that needs to be done, I definitely send them in the right directions. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Definitely. And then I've got Tia's Beauty, who does mine.
She knows them all.
I do. I've got my girls. The skin is really important. So if there's something that needs fixing.
Yeah. You'd recommend something.
You'd recommend something,
Yeah. I love, and you said before, you don't change a person's face, like you enhance their beauty.
Yeah, I'll do a bit of correcting, but I don't change.
That's another thing I love is that you are not very, it's not dramatic what you do. Like you still look the same. You know how some makeup artists, they change your face, like you don't even look like yourself.
You don't feel
anymore.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Which is why I take the time to get to know my client in the beginning. Obviously, my clients that are repetitive, I know who they are. I know their style. I know their personality. Their version of dramatic could be completely different to my version of dramatic. But when I'm meeting a client for the first time, it's very important to get to know their personality. And you can sort of judge on, it's very important to bring out someone's personality in their makeup, not just overtake, and then they feel uncomfortable the rest of the day.
You mentioned before that you did photo shoots and fashion shows and then you've got your normal clientele as well. It sounds like your schedule can be quite intense.
It is
sometimes. Plus
time.
you run a business, plus you've got your cosmetics line.
Yeah.
How do you manage it all and juggle it all and still maintain balance and have a social life and see your family and all of that stuff?
You mean have a cocktail?
Yes.
Yes, girl. Honestly, it's organization. I think, I know a lot of people say it and a lot of people whatever, and it's so easily sort of said, but organization either makes or breaks your life, your family life. So if I know that tomorrow, for example, I've got back-to-back photos, maybe organised dinner the night before, whatever it is. So it's just about being organised.
Do you have a preference on what you love to do the most? Is it photo shoots? Is it your clients?
I mean, photo shoots are fabulous. It's always great being doing that side, and I've been doing that since day one. Editorial is quite fun. I do a lot of film, TV as well, but I love it all. I don't actually have. I mean, bridal's fun too, but I do really enjoy the creative side of shoots, because I'm able to create something from scratch, speak to the creative director behind who's organising the photo shoot, what their vision is, whether it's a clothing brand or whether it's whatever it is, and being able to actually go back, put something together in my head and create, without any limitations. So
fun.
Yeah.
Now, you have your own cosmetics line.
I do.
So talk us through that. When did that kind of all begin for you?
That's something I've had CR Luxury Cosmetics for almost 7 years now.
Wow.
It's sold in Los Angeles at Nigel's Beauty Emporium, and I've got my online store here, but we are looking at expanding. But it's something I've wanted for a very, very, very long time. And I remember starting it way longer, like maybe about 12 or 13 years ago, through a very generic private labeling service that I did. And then I stopped one day and was like, I remember calling it Baby Doll Creations.
Oh, girl.
Did I just admit that? That was
so bougie.
So bougie. That was like a very long time ago. Did I just admit that on camera? Did I just admit that on camera?
We'll edit that out.
And then I was like, it was cool, it was exciting. Then I sat there one day and thought, I take so much pride in the products that I use on my clients. I actually want to create something from scratch. So, which is why it's probably not as easy to have a complete line to begin with. Because I literally like these lipsticks and the technology behind them where they actually adapt to the natural pH levels of your lips, and then they adapt to your skin color. So you literally can just pick up the red and you'll have the instant red lipstick that suits you. That's like perfect. So it took me almost 3 years with regards to working with different cosmetic manufacturers, different chemists from Germany, Italy, Japan, trying to get different ingredients all around to try and make this work, and then getting family and friends to test and try and, on different skin tones as well to make sure that is this technology actually working. Yeah. So it took me about 3 years technology-wise to get this one up and running. So I decided I did want to create my products from scratch with love and with my knowledge of.
And is there anything else on the market that does what your brand does?
With regards to
pH and
with regards to changing on the lips, no.
Wow.
So we're working on getting that one.
So it's definitely a kind of an area of opportunity within the...
Definitely, which is why when I had that probably, when I released this brand, not even 2 months later, I had Los Angeles were like, we need this, and it's one of, LA's biggest celebrity sort of makeup suppliers were like, we need this. And I've had like Katy Perry. Katy Perry. Oh my God, I just got a mind.
Yeah, she wore it when she was here, right?
So, her makeup artist, like Anthony, I've given it to him, and I've gotten good feedback. And we had Mario, which is Kim Kardashian's makeup artist, personally choose the brand as his Sydney sponsor.
Wow.
Loving the technology behind it, and so. It's good. It's a good idea. It's not just another lipstick. It does make you feel good, but at the same time, it's really important to have products that suit your skin tone. No matter what your skin tone is, how fair you are, through to the middle, through to the dark side. Yeah. We love a lipstick that's you're gonna apply it on, but it's gonna suit. Yeah.
I remember watching you when you went overseas with your mum. Your mum was doing your
BeautyCon.
And your mum was taking all your videos. It was so cute.
She's always
tell us about that experience.
That was amazing. So that was well, I got contacted through the most beautiful lady, Moj. Her name is MOJ on Instagram. And she's I think she was like the founder, the director of BeautyCon Pop, BeautyCon in Los Angeles, which is one of the biggest makeup.
Expo?
Yeah, like a massive makeup show. And, just sort of see my products, and I was like, hi there. And so we sent him some products. She's like, let me see, I want to sort of try the product. And then she's like, girl, we got to have you here after they tried the product. So within maybe like 2 weeks, I had to pack up, send stock, almost forgot to book accommodation. I think I was doing that the night before my flight, and get down there. And it was the most phenomenal experience ever. Yeah, so that was amazing. That was only like 2 and a bit years ago, just literally
before COVID?
Yeah, 3 years, just pre-COVID.
Yeah, wow.
So that was insane. Insane.
So
met some incredible people there.
Yeah, is that how you broke into that market? Is that
no? I was already.
Oh, were you?
I was already in Los Angeles since January of 2016.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you get many is it popular over there? Is it going well?
No, it's doing really well. I think we're at the point though where they do want me to expand.
Yeah, they want more products.
They want more products, which we're almost finalized my next product.
Ooh,
is this
so exciting
preview? Like, are we going to get a special announcement?
Should we? We're expanding, and I think a lot of my clients already know because they keep asking, when can I buy this? And I'm like, soon, and then 2 months later, it's still not here. But I'm just a little bit of a perfectionist, so it's slow, but I'm getting there.
Oh,
but
you want it to be perfect.
This is definitely one of a kind.
But I think, you know, 100%. When it comes to lip colors, like for me, a lipstick is so important. Like I think it can be, you know, so empowering for a woman to have a lipstick that she really enjoys, and something that she can dress up or dress down, or, you know, just feel really comfortable in.
Yeah, I think with me, the whole idea behind my brand and that I do is that women are confident. And I was saying that the other day. I think it's really important. Doesn't matter who you are and what you do for a woman, to have that confidence. There's a lot of women lack confidence in the fact that they sort of a bit insecure and conscious of certain things. And we're all women, we're all beautiful no matter what. And I just think if you bring out a beautiful personality that 99% of the time overtakes a lot more than other things that you're overthinking that nobody else has even noticed.
Yeah.
So I think back to my products, being confident. So even with some of my lip liners, I've got one called Confident Woman. And I've got Inner Beauty.
Wow.
Because I've actually named the colours those because I think it's really important for a woman to feel confident. It's actually something I try and empower with everybody I come across on a daily basis.
Yeah. So what's your favourite shade? What's your vibe?
Out of all the colours, there's only one that I actually named after myself.
Okay.
Right? I've named after my beautiful two nieces. I've got Sweet Mary and Cheeky Kristen.
Oh, that's cute.
I know, in this range, they're amazing. But everybody knows I love my red lips. I'm a red lip girl.
But the colour you've got on now is beautiful.
Thank you. This one's Saturday Night. That's this one here.
Very nice.
Yeah, and you can wear it quite sheer if you need to, even though they're very full pigmented.
Like it looks like it's not budging at all.
It hasn't moved, no.
So what's trending at the moment in terms of, you know, lipstick shades or gloss shades?
Actually, this year, pink is very much in.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a bright pink or a soft?
Pinks are very much in. And we haven't had, to be honest with you, I mean, I use pink quite often, but as an in trend, pink hasn't been in for a little while. Even though we still use it, we sort of do it on the softer shade, but bold pink is in with regards to outfits. If you go to the shops, you'll notice a lot of bright pink suits.
Neons,
That's so true,
right?
actually.
Yeah, which you wouldn't have seen. It was quite green last year and things like that. And even even when I'm creating my products, I go through the Pantone list where they're the massive people that create what colours are in for everything. So then I go off that. So pinks are very much in at the moment. So I've got some soft pinks, but then I've got Saturday Night, the one I'm wearing, and another one called Take Me to New York.
Oh,
I love all of these names.
I know. They took me a
really
little while to
nice.
come up with them.
It's so important though, because it's like you build that, you know,
I love
relationship
it.
with the brand.
I love New York when I visited New
Yeah.
York, and I had probably just come back not long after, and then seeing the bright pink just reminded me of like bright lights and
Aww, the
you know,
inspo you got.
the
That's
inspo between
beautiful.
each of the colours.
And your makeup, like the lipsticks are at such a good price point as well. Like being such a luxurious brand,
They are,
they're not
yeah.
even that expensive.
Yeah. So they are at. I have kept them at a affordable price point. Even though, for example, even the packaging's like.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful.
So nice.
They're pure aluminium. They got the magnetic casing, and the idea behind the bright color, even though I do love red and pink, was that a woman can find it in her handbag quite easy.
Oh, so
Oh,
good.
that's so smart.
So when I was creating the packaging,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, another black packaging or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. And I was like, you know what? Sometimes women don't have a little zip makeup proper thing. You know, you just throw it in, everyone's in a hurry.
Yeah, but you can
It's just,
spot it.
you can always spot it out of your handbags. That was my idea when creating the bright. And I love red and I love pink. So just sort of
all just worked out perfectly.
worked out well.
What would you say is like not the same, but say someone doesn't want to buy a luxurious brand, maybe they can't afford it. Like, what would be maybe a lower price point, like at a price line or a Target?
Yeah, definitely. There's so many drugstore. You know, we say drugstore products. There's some amazing. Like I I was actually mind blown, and I like to sort of go in everywhere, actually, from David Jones through to Priceline, and actually try and see what's out, what's new, especially with TikTok these days, right? There's so many dupes on products.
Yeah, I've discovered so many things.
Yeah, and sometimes I don't like to just go, okay, well, it's all over TikTok, let's just go buy it.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean? Like I want to actually try and there's some amazing brands like with Priceline. Like there's the Revolution.
Yeah,
right? I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yes,
that's like amazing. Like I tried the consistency and thought, okay, well, honestly, mind blowing. There's some really good, like there's Elf as well. That's really good.
I love Elf.
I love Elf. Is like so cheap.
And they're in Kmart.
So cheap.
I have to say, whenever I go to America, Walmart is like it's. They just
Elf. And it's still the same, like $5, $6.
Yeah, but they have in America they have like a much bigger range.
Much more bigger.
Milani, like there's so
like
many
Milani's
brands,
great too.
like,
Milani's like maybe more on the not the lower, but still like still very affordable. Their products are fantastic. Like Elf is quite good too, but pigment wise, like you got to pick and choose certain products.
Yeah,
but Melanie's like great. Revolution, which we have here, is mind blowing, amazing.
Do you know what I use every day? It's so funny. I mix Maybelline and I mix NARS together to get the perfect shade, because not one of them does the perfect shade, and one of them is the right consistency.
And the other ones
together,
I think mixing is great. See, that's where your creativity comes up.
Yeah.
You don't need to have a one-stop sort of pick up. Go. It's nice to mix. I even do that, for example, if I want to sheer down a foundation. So if I've got a full coverage foundation, which I do, a lot of my fuller. You know, I mix a drop or two of moisturizer in it. Warm it up and then pop it on, and I've got an instant tinted moisturizer per se.
Nice.
So it's quite soft and sheer, and I look like I'm wearing nothing, but I still look luminous and glowy. But by mixing the two, I still have the longevity of a foundation.
Actually, something that I saw on TikTok the other day that I'd never seen before was there was like these pigments that you could buy to change how the foundation looks. So if it's too yellow or if it's too light.
So that's once again going to pigment changing.
I've never seen that before.
But you don't need to buy specific. You can always do exactly what Sandra's doing. You mix a few to get the right shade.
And is that because you feel like you just can't get something to match your skin?
Yeah, and then I don't like full coverage foundation, so it kind of looked a bit too cakey for me. So then
that's a problem.
I used like an oily foundation, and I mixed it with like a matte foundation, and I got the perfect consistency and the perfect coverage. And I don't like it when I feel it. So that was really soft to me, and it worked. Yeah. And my undertone has changed as I've gotten older. Does that happen? Because I remember
it's not necessarily an age per se thing, but generally if you've been in the sun. Or if you've not in the sun.
Yellow undertone. I used to wear MAC. I can't wear MAC now. Or Napoleon. It goes too gold, like yellow on my skin. So
it's not necessarily because everyone's undertone is everyone's undertone. So you cannot change your undertone, but you can change your shade of colour through. Obviously, if I've been in the sun all day, or if I've been indoors for a while and I haven't seen the sun, you know what I mean. So that's when things change.
Yeah, amazing. So I guess, I mean, you mentioned that you're looking at expanding, so it sounds like there's some big things coming for you. So I guess, like, what's next for you in terms of your business? You know, you've mentioned your brand a little bit. What's next?
What's next? For me, it would be definitely brand, expanding the brand. It's something that I love. It's something that I've done from my heart. And I think, you know, when COVID sort of hit, we sort of got a bit like blah, 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 blah. And plans that I did have, I had some massive things that were going to happen that were obviously put on hold and then had to be cancelled due to COVID. And I just went to,
because I feel like you're right at this peak.
And then, well, COVID came and it was not just me. I think it was the whole entire world. And then some people dealt with it a little bit differently to how others would. And, I think it's time to now flush backwards and move forward and continue from where we left off.
Oh, can't wait
I can't wait to see.
I honestly can't. Yeah, so good.
Very exciting.
So good. Well, that was such an amazing chat. I feel like I know so much more about makeup. Now. I feel like I have so many more questions.
Yeah, I do.
We can organize a makeup lesson. I think
I think we need to.
Makeup lessons are
good on the yin and yang.
We'll do some makeup lessons.
Yes.
All right. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed our chat with Chantel today. We're going to pop all of her details and her contacts below. Please check out her makeup brand. I know you're going to love it. But until next time, we'll see you then.
Thanks, guys.